Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Thank you, everyone, for reaching out. So concerned where I've been the last 3 days. I'm here. I'm working long hours and feeling blessed. In fact, Friday afternoon, I did a Zoom Kabbalat Shabbat, and then I sent out a vlog. Saturday night, we did a Zoom Havdalah. Sunday morning, a Zoom Minyan. So last night, I didn't send anything out, and people are freaking out. It's okay. I'm here. We're all good. But thank you for caring. So I'm making sure to do my vlog tonight, and also possibly to take a different angle of it, so maybe it gives a different perspective of the camera at least. Tonight, my friends, in all seriousness, is a very, very meaningful and important night for Jews in Israel and around the world. Tonight is what is referred to as Yom HaZikaron, the day in which we remember our holy brothers and sisters who died defending our holy land, Eretz Yisrael, the state of Israel, Medinat Yisrael, our land of Israel. We discussed today, ourselves, our children, what it means to have sacrifice. How challenging this is, the period that we don't have our lives back the way it used to be. And then we need a day like Yom HaZikaron to pause and to allow us to remind us what it means for those that made the ultimate sacrifice. Of course, in the United States, there's Memorial Day, but this is for Israel, their special day. Think about it, you have a child who's 18 years young, and you send them off not knowing what's going to be with them. And then you think about the thousands who died on battlefields or maimed, so that Israel can be safe and secure for all of us and all our family. This comes at a price, a great price, the ultimate price, but it's a price that we cannot take for granted. Each day when we daven here in Shul, at the end of the service, I instituted a beautiful song that should be sung by all of us for years. It's called Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, our brothers and sisters throughout the land and the house of Israel. Hanusunim Batzora Vashivya, those who are held in captivity. Hamakom, referring to the Almighty. Yerachem Aleim, have mercy on them. Take them out from their place of subjugation to redemption. From darkness to light. We think about those who are held in captivity, soldiers. We think about those who have been lost. And we ask God just to allow us that freedom. When we sing the song today, being somewhat in quarantine, we think about allow us to come out of our shell so we can return back to the way life used to be. Can you imagine what it is for a parent whose son or daughter has been kidnapped? For holy bones that have not been returned to loved ones because they went there to defend their people, their country, their land. That's the ultimate sacrifice. What we have today is not sacrifice at all. And so please God, tomorrow night, we'll be having a special Yom HaZikaron service. And also because it's the day before Yom HaAtzmaut, the night before Yom HaAtzmaut, which leads into the great celebrations in Israel. I invite everybody and welcome to join us tomorrow evening, Tuesday at 7:30. And I will be sending out an email with a link to it. But tonight, I want to share with you one brief story that I shared Friday afternoon, but only a few people heard it, and so it's worth sharing again. It's a story about what it means to truly live in sacrifice and what it means to appreciate our freedom. Sadly, this past Friday afternoon, a great sage, one of the rabbis on the Beis Din in Crown Heights, Rabbi Yaakov Shavei, 86 years young, passed away, and he was buried right before Shabbat. And I read a story about his life that really touched me, and so I shared it Friday night with our family. And the story itself moved our children to the extent that some said, Daddy, Abba, that's so sad, and it's hard to hear. It is hard to hear, but it really is important that we share it, and I encourage you to do the same. Without making a long story even longer, I'll make just the points very brief. Rabbi Shvei, Yaakov Shvei, was a young boy, one of 3 boys, and his father had passed away, and he lived in Ukraine. His father passed away very young from an illness. And so his mother went at that point in time down to Tashkent, which is Uzbekistan, just to be able to feed and run away from the war. It came to a point that they were so impoverished and no food, no money, no clothing, that the mother decided to send Yaakov away to a yeshiva. But in doing so, she gathered together whatever few kopkas she had, and she says, Yankala, my boy. Now, I understand he wasn't more than 9, 10 years old. She takes him to the train station. She says, my boychik, says, I need a year to establish our family here. Go learn, go. They'll take care of you over there. I've arranged it. But do me a favor, my son. He says, just know that I'm your mother and I will always be there for you. And after a year, I make you a promise. I commit to you that I will come and I will travel to be and to visit with you after 1 year. So the story is told that it took more than a year for his mother to gather together the finances and to arrange to have the other two sons taken care of. And so then she heads on this long train ride. It must have been many, 12, 13 hours, to go visit her Yankala, her little boy. And as she debarks off the train, in the train station, she sees her son Yankel over there. Now you can't imagine the reunion, the emotion, the tears. But after all those tears, she says to him, Yankala, my boy, how did you know that I was going to be on this train? I mean, I didn't call you, but there was no such thing as text or notifying. How did you know? What a surprise. I thought I'd have to go into town, find out where your yeshiva is and go. He says, Mommy, you said to me that you will come after a year. And so on the anniversary and when I arrived here, every single day, I go to the train station, to the Bahnhof, and I wait for you, because the one train that comes from Tashkent, and every day that you don't come, and everyone comes out of the train and you're not there, I get emotional, I go back to my yeshiva, I cry, but I know that one day you will be here. Because I believe you, Mom, when you said to me that you will see me again. And I thought about that story and how heart-wrenching, not just for a mother to send a child away at that age, a mother with no husband, a child with no father, but a child who believes the mother and every day goes to the train station waiting for 20 minutes, a train to arrive, the excitement that could potentially be but wasn't. But he never gave up hope because he knew he will hug his mother, he'll have that embrace again. And I was getting emotional sharing this story, as heavy as it is. It makes it real for our children. 11 years old, 9, 10, 11 years old, going away from home. And then my father-in-law shared at the end of the story, he says, Mendy, what you don't know is that Rabbi Yaakov Shvei, of blessed memory, this little boy Yaakov, who made for himself a tremendous life and great family, respected as rabbinic leader and just a tremendous mensch. Rabbi Shvei is married to my mother's cousin, a second cousin. In fact, Rabbi Shvei's wife, Rebbetzin Shvei, who lives in Crown Heights now, she's from Israel. And when she first came over from Israel as a young lady, she had nowhere to stay, and we were her cousins, so she stayed at our home for an entire year in Kew Gardens, and she lived with our parents. And we took care of her. Now, I know Rabbi Shvei for years. I never knew that his wife, him, his children are cousins. And I certainly didn't know that Chana's grandmother, Oma, and my father-in-law's father and mother took care of her for a year. And I think about that. Think about his story, having had to leave home and not be with his dad, who had passed, not to be with a mum, wait and believe that the mother will be there for him, and then to think of it that his wife came over, nowhere to go, but family took her in. And now you see the fruits of their labor. You see the benefits of their investment. You see their patience and their faith. And this, my friends, is how I'll conclude tonight's message. Turn to your children, share them the story to the extent that you feel you can, and just say to them, look how blessed we are, look how people really had it, and look what they did. Not only did they have the faith, but they made something with their lives. I hope and pray that each one of us can internalize these stories and bring about a true element of being able to appreciate those who died, at Kiddush Hashem, appreciate the ultimate sacrifice, which we don't have to do, and very soon we'll be able to celebrate our freedom as we celebrate together with our brothers and sisters, hopefully very soon, in the land of Israel with Mashiach. And let us say Amen. Have a beautiful night. I'm Yisrael Chai. I will see you tomorrow night on Zoom. Cheers.